Hi there.
Hey everybody.
We've made it. It's episode 8.
Guys, this is the season finale.
Wow, the season
of
finale.
The Family Legacy Quarantine Editions. This is it. This would be our final, episode 8, and
Yeah.
we are going to be introducing the Family Legacy Impartation Protocol
Yeah.
today. This is the tool for passing on the most important things in your legacy. This is specifically around the wisdom you've acquired that you want to pass on to your family.
Yeah.
I want to just say thank you to everybody who's been joining us. We sincerely hope
Yeah.
that you've gotten a lot out of these protocols.
Mm-hmm.
It is our passion, our ongoing mission to equip families.
Yeah.
It truly is. And so with that, remember, all of this has come from Randy's book, Amazon bestseller, 5 Countries, The Family Legacy, Shaping Culture from the
Nice.
Inside Out. There's an accompanying workbook. All of the tools that we've been given to you during the quarantine are from this. And I also wanted to remind you guys, this is our life verse. I remind you guys often that this is plastered across the wall in our dining room, and it is Proverbs 24:3. We love the Passion Translation around this. Wise people are builders. They build families, businesses, communities, and through intelligence and insight, their enterprises are established and endure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we really believe that through emotional intelligence
Yes.
and through leadership and relational insights that we really impact culture from the inside out. Our own, how we steward our own lives and our families, and then out from there, right? Our businesses and our community. So we've had a wonderful time putting this together, and it's our contribution during this time of quarantine. You know, we're all quarantined, we're home, we can't get out, and you know, our gatherings and trainings and all that stuff's been postponed, and so we're just here saying, you know what, let's give people value, and hopefully you've gotten that. I'm not going to say a lot about all of the tools. They're there, but we've taken the family legacy model, which is 6 protocols for how to do family. We've grabbed a tool or two from each of those 6, and we've briefly given you an exercise or a tool that you can put into practice. Listen, there's more than 60 tools that are step-by-step instructions of how to do them in the workbook and explained in the book. And so we're barely getting a taste, but it's an important taste and it's a fun taste. From listening to what we call the mission protocol, how to come together in time of crisis, to the social covenant, which is how are we going to do family in our home? What are our agreements? What do you need from me? What do I need from you? What do we need from each other? And how do we create this fun environment where everybody wins at home? Then we taught a couple of sessions on how to create a family coat of arms, which is who we are, why we're here, and a creative process to create a one-of-a-kind piece of art, really, that can extend and last through generations. And then we talked about how to intentionally have a ritual or a meal around food where very specific things happen, where we tell story and we have fun and we coach each other toward the goals and the things that are important to us in our lives. In episode 7, we did the the family venture, which is a trip and learning experience that is, again, an intentional way to go to learn, to grow, to be family and pass on legacy while having fun or serving others anywhere around the world. Finally, here we are. This is the impartation protocol that has, I think it's 20 or more tools in this one protocol. We're going to give you one, which is how to pass on the most important things. And that's what this whole protocol is about. How do I really intentionally pass on? Here are the 5 things: the wisdom, the blessing, the stuff, and take care of any unfinished business is what I call it. It's a category of just a lot of loose ends that are really important to be tied up. And if they're tied up and addressed and finished, the legacy can be encoded in the finishing of that business, and it can be powerful. And then finally, what I call the family legacy, the covenant, which is I promise as a family member to do my best moving forward in the generations to come to teach my children and my grandchildren to practice these rituals than these protocols that we've learned so that our legacy can be passed on. And, you know, it's my experience, most families do a really poor job of intentionally passing on all of those. Some do a good job at passing on the wealth or the stuff. But even that, you know, is not just who gets what, but why? Why was that important? What did you learn in acquiring that? Or what's important to steward what you're passing on? Or there's so many ways that we can do better to empower our kids and grandkids and to be powerful and live our legacy. So, let's see, did I miss anything? The time for action is now. I guess that's the point, right?
That is the point.
We wait around. None of us know how much time or how many days we have. We know that our days are numbered. And we're told to number our days, make every day count. And this is partly how we do that. So what is it about imparting the wisdom? Tell them what we're going to do.
We're going to pass on the things that you have acquired in life thus far. The wisest, best that you have to offer your kids that they can pass on to their grandkids. This is around a number of issues: love, marriage. What have you learned about finances? What have you learned about emotions? It goes on and on. You want to pick it up from there?
Sure. It's really what we've done is we've taken a tool and modeled it after what King Solomon did, who was arguably the wisest person that ever lived. And what he did, if you read the Proverbs in the scriptures, is he took his best gold nuggets around any topic and he put them into short little sayings, just nuggets, bite-sized things that could be, you know, chewed on and put into practice and learned. And he passed those on intentionally to his kids. So we looked at all the different categories that he addressed and what he passed on to his kid, and we just made a list. So it's a starting place. It's not an ending place. But it's for you to give some thought to what do I want to make sure that what I've learned around these topics that are in the tool that we're giving you, that I want to make sure my kids and grandkids get and that they pass on. And it may not be the best wisdom out there, but it's the best you have. It's the best that you come to in your life.
I also want to say, when you go through this, again, this tool is uploaded. It's a time for you to reflect as a mother or a father. When you read through these things, what is the best wisdom you have around parenting? Or what is the best wisdom you have around the business? Whatever it is, you may realize that, gosh, what is that? It's an opportunity for you to go deeper in your own heart. Like, what have I learned? What is the wisdom? We often we think we know things, but it's until we sit down and write them and actually articulate them, give substance to it. And it's that substance. You want to pass on something substantive that your kids and your grandkids can take with them, that will always be with them.
So good. And having it written down or even on video, like we explain in the book, is a powerful thing. I know this. My uncle took video of my grandfather in his final months, I think it was, in his 96th year. And it was so valuable to go back and listen. And he just asked him some questions. And that's what this is. You know, what is it around sexuality or relationships or leadership or conflict resolution or being a good listener, work habits, self-control. I mean, so many things, physical, emotional health. King Solomon, he talked about all of these things in some nugget form that he wanted to make sure that got passed on, that his kids listens to. And listen, we're not going to go through every one. There's a long list, and there's just a little space afterward for you to reflect and write that down so that you can pass it on.
Right. Yeah. And you can do this in an intentional, there's more exercises in the book. There is a time and a space to actually meet with your kids and pass this on. You can do this, and this is a document too that you can update on a regular basis, because hopefully we're always growing in wisdom.
Yeah, and none of us know, like we said. So to have something done, you know, ensures if an accident would happen or something unexpected would happen, that there's some record. So it's not like, well, I'll just wait till I'm old. Well, when is that? And how do we know we're going to get there? So I hope this is powerful and an important piece to you and your family to even think about. Even if your kids are little, this is important. And that wraps up our quarantine edition. I just want to say this, that, you know, we don't just sit behind our cell phone camera and put things on social media. We train churches and we train leaders. We do workshops with individual families. We do family coaching and business coaching and so many other things. And this isn't a commercial, but we just want you to know that we're here for you. If you want to journey with your family and you want to make a difference from the inside out, ultimately in culture, because if our kids will live powerful lives and lead powerfully, then they will show up in culture in places of decision making and influence, and out of a good character and out of a mission and a purpose and an identity that they've received from our family. Yeah. They can stand in those places of authority and they can govern well. And their choices can help bring about change in our culture that's desperately needed.
And we need change.
And so, listen, we're here, culturalarchitects.org. We have a whole number of resources and e-courses and training things. And we'd love to hear from you. If you have taken any of these tools and put them into practice and you've gotten some value, we would love to hear your story, how it went with your kids, what worked, what didn't, what next. And I hope that this is the beginning of a long-term relationship between the family legacy work and us, Randy, Leslie, and our family, and your family. Mm-hmm. That there's an exchange that can happen that will bless us both. So with that, anything else?
Everyone can go look forward to getting their hair redone and their manicures.
It's amazing what essential businesses are now. A month or 6 weeks in. Now it's the hairstylist, right? God bless you.
Bye,
and your
everybody.
Family.